What percentage, and first one to raise your hand, what percentage, and let's do it within 4%, what percentage of undergrads report overwhelming anxiety? First hand right there. 75? Close, less than that. Arden. Less. No, less. We're going the wrong way. Yeah, right here. Say again? 60? Got it. 62%. What's your name? Sam? All right, Sam gets a book. 62%, listen to this, 62% of undergrads report, not just like I'm nervous about a test, but it's overwhelming anxiety. Okay, so I want to kind of stay on this for a couple minutes, all right? Over the last decade, and this is up from 50% in 2011, so that is a large increase. Let's see. Oh yeah, how you get ready for a date? That's not that funny. Okay. Panicking was like the big chunk. All right, good. Over the last decade, anxiety has actually overtaken depression for the top reason that college students go to health services. Okay, so this is something that is it's very common, but that doesn't mean it's easy. So I have 3 friends who are exceptional. One is one of the most renowned psychologists in the country, and I called them, all 3 of them, because I'm not a psychologist by trade, but I asked them, hey, what would you tell high school seniors as they're going away to college or going into the real world about this? What are some things? And so Samaya, if it's okay, this is actually so. And they had 4 things I think that can really help you guys. I will tell you this. I've dealt with anxiety for a while. My first time ever going out on stage in front of a group. It was a group of 400 high schoolers. It was a long time ago, and I was going out with a friend, and we were actually going to do like some entertainment stuff, but just for 5 minutes. And I'd never done it before, and I was backstage. I still remember it wasn't here. I was backstage though, behind a curtain, and my buddy was like, "Hey man, you ready to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling great, man." And he's like, I've been nervous. I've been sick and anxious for like a day or two. And I get over the trash can, I start dry heaving. I'm like, making this weird noise, nothing's coming out. And he's like, dude, we're walking out. He's like, are you gonna come? I'm like, go home without me, you know. I never go out. He had to do it by himself. And then, as I began to kind of do some things in front of not crowds, but maybe hundreds of people, guys, I started getting a facial tic. I was so nervous and so anxious, so I would think I was smiling at people, and I was actually going like this. That was, honestly, and I never knew until somebody came up and was like, hey, why are you making that weird face, like while you speak? I was like, what do you mean? And so we had a video of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And anytime I thought I was smiling, I was so nervous, I would go, I would make my, so anyway, I'm still kind of nervous, still anxious about it. Have, even been back and forth medication and different stuff like that. So I will say, some of it is, I'm speaking from experience, but not with a great coping thing. We'll go to the professionals for that. Okay. Number 1, and they're of 4, and he says, don't fear the label. Depression and anxiety are very likely and very common for people in late adolescence, but they're descriptive of what you're experiencing. They aren't diseases to be feared or diagnostic labels that will define you. So if you think you might be experiencing either one, don't be discouraged by it. Most people who address depression and anxiety will find relief, and the sooner you address it, the better. Okay, so that's that ask for help, and ask for help early, even now. That's number 1. Number 2, this was interesting. I never thought about this. Don't just listen to your thoughts or your heart, but speak to your thoughts and your mind and your heart. To allow your thoughts and feelings to have control isn't helpful. Think of it as a car. Your thoughts and feelings are allowed to be in the car, but they don't get to drive the car. You're still in control. Again, that brings us back to feelings are great friends, but terrible masters. Number 3, this is so crucial, especially as you go away to maybe a new place where you don't know almost anyone. Find a trusted friend, confidant, mentor, or a counselor And he says, if you're going to college, counseling is usually offered for free to share what you're feeling. Most people, when given the chance to express how they feel and what they're going through and what they're struggling with, will find relief and hope. And then lastly, breathe. She said, focused breathing is the #1 preventative measure for anxiety. And she said lots of YouTube videos can kind of show you how to do some just easy focused breathing to start to kind of be in control or start to feel like you can control that way. I would say this, you're not meant to do college alone. You're not meant to do the real world alone. In fact, you can't. You can't do it alone. So there are more support services now than ever have been. But don't go it alone. Ask for help and ask for help early.